Man, you guys, I'm sorry, I've been so busy. I know I've meant to do chapter 21 like days ago because I read it days ago, and I just have not had a chance to like stop and sit down and make a video. It's funny because last week I was so free, and it just happens that way sometimes. I made a lot of videos last week, and this week it's been impossible. So thankfully things are dying down significantly. So I wanted to make my video real quick. It's really funny. I think it was kind of like summing up the section, so I barely wrote anything down. Hold on. So yeah, chapter 21, becoming the woman of his dreams. I wrote down very little notes, so I'd love to hear if anything like really stuck out to you that you wanted to talk about or that spoke to you. The first thing I wrote down was fights for her marriage. And like I said, I read this days ago, so I'm like, what am I talking about? All right, so David was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And then I think either I asked or she asked, have you ever been at the wrong place at the wrong time? All right. Lonely and vulnerable women friends. Let's see what in the world I meant by that. I'm assuming that I meant that when you're feeling lonely, or if you're feeling lonely or vulnerable, that you need to guard your heart and speak to women friends, not men friends. You do not need some male friends that you can talk to about your marriage, especially when you're feeling lonely or vulnerable. So yes. Yep, there it is. Continue. Yeah, the Lord continues to use women to encourage women. And seeking companionship with a man is treading on dangerous ground. Definitely think back on the story that she shared a few chapters prior, Charlotte's Web, I think it was, where she was trusting in her brother-in-law and talking to him about her marriage and stuff that ended up in a very bad place. And then I wrote, did wrong on purpose. I think I'm referring to David. He sinned on purpose. Yeah, David knew he was doing wrong, but he proceeded anyway. Hold on, buddy, I'll be right there. That's the scariest, I think. That when you know you're sinning and you just say, I'll just do it anyway. That is like petrifying to me, because it's like, do you really love God? If you know you're sinning and you just, it's all right, I'm going to do it anyway. That's a scary, scary place to find yourself. You should really examine your heart. Do I really love God? Do I really hate sin? Do I really want to worship and obey and follow the Lord? Then why am I just strolling into sin and then rolling around in the mud with no conviction, you know? That's crazy. And I wrote, God will always provide a way of escape. He sure will. There is no time that you are in sin that God will not provide a way for you to escape. And you must take it. Take it. No one is above temptation. Yes. It's very frustrating to me when people are like, oh, I can watch this movie because it doesn't really affect me that way. Really? Okay, then you must be like Jesus or something. Like, what? No one is above temptation. How can we be foolish enough to think that we can handle temptation? We can if we're not fighting against sin and we're not, my dog, what is it, you little whiner? If we're not constantly fighting against sin, mortifying sin, wearing our armor in the battle, then we are very, very, very capable of falling into sin. No one is above temptation. And that's really scary because we're all capable of such horrible things. If we don't fight and let sin run its course, there's no telling where you may end up. And then the last thing was the now go and love your husband. I thought that was cool. I loved the story she shared. That she was like, it's going to be weird to go up there and say, now everyone go love your husband. But then when she did, everyone was crying. And I want us to take that encouragement for ourselves and practice it. Now go and love your husband. Let's go love our husbands, ladies. Let's go and love them in a way that is so God-honoring and so biblical and so beautiful that the world will not be able to help but look and be like, what is up over there, you know? And that just opens the doors for ministry and sharing the gospel. Girl, no, you are wet. Get down. Go, lay down with Gracie. Go. Go. You're so obedient. I love my dog. Oh my goodness. Come here, you little stinker. Oh, look. I'm gonna let her win. I'm gonna let her up. You little stinker. You little manipulative. You. What a stinker. Nope. No. That's Daddy's spot. So, that's all I wrote down. 25 ways to safeguard your marriage. And yeah, so this was like summing up all the stuff that she kind of already discussed with like in-laws, right? When it comes to children, get away once or twice a year without the children. I mean, that's gonna, whatever. I'm not gonna start talking about that. That is going to vary from family to family. Hector and I are not the biggest fans of leaving our kids behind. We're just like, we had kids to be with our kids, so why are we gonna like leave our kids? I don't know, but that's just us. We might be weird, and that's fine. If you leave your kids, awesome, go for it. Enjoy time away. Once a week date night sounds so unrealistic, but man, that would be nice. Again, this lady only had one child, so it was easy for the grandparents to say yes, I'm sure, every time she wanted to go out. We probably couldn't do a once a week date night, but that would be great. Lovey-dovey. Stop what you're doing and give him a hug when he comes in the door in the evening. Oh yes, I am such a fan of that. Whatever it is you're doing, can wait. Go make that man feel like he just entered his castle. I am such a fan of that. Get intentional about looking for ways to show him he's still number one in your life. Yes, still number one. Right now, he's roasting some coffee. So when I'm done with this video, which won't be long from now, I really want to shower. But instead, I'm going to go hang out with him and learn all about his procedure and enjoy time with him. Get personal by having intimate conversations with no interruptions. One child. No interruptions. My kids are in bed and they've already called me, right? Like 3 times. And the dog interrupts. I don't know about no interruptions, but yes, intimate conversation. That sounds great. Let's do it when and if that's possible. Get your husband involved in caring for the children. Yes, in raising the children, because they're his, right? Yes, our husbands have children. They're our children and they're children, and we both need to raise our children. Get practical and think of ways to reignite the flame of passion once the baby comes. Perhaps take a nap when the baby naps. Oh, to not be tired at night to be able to ignite that flame. Okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan of sleep when baby sleeps, but that only works with the first one. She never experienced the second or third or fourth. After the second one comes along, you can't nap when baby naps anymore because there's another one to take care of. But there are ways. I used to put them both to sleep at the same time every day. Like, Joel would have his baby morning nap, and then I would do an afternoon nap for both of them at the same time. And I would lay down on this big, awesome reclining chair that we used to have in their room and pass out most of the time when they were falling asleep. And then I would come out and have a little bit of alone time before they woke up. But energy, thankfully, and I think this is just different people are different. I've never really been a wiped out at the end of the day kind of person. I always have energy till like bedtime, but I know from many conversations with many friends that people really, really struggle with low energy and the struggle of giving our husband our leftovers at the end of the day. So yeah, find ways to rest so that you can have time with him. I'm a fan of that for sure. And yeah, reigniting the flame after the baby comes. You know, don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's gonna happen. Intimacy is part of marriage, and it has its journey in marriage too. Like, trust me, the longer you're married, the better it gets. I mean, we've been married 12 years, and it's been a journey. Like, pregnancy, postpartum, nursing, waking up all night, it's part of the journey. And it doesn't have to be perfect or look perfect, and it's not going to. And it's part of the journey. There's a lot of, you know, not even like ups and downs, just changes, you know. And then when and if you're done having children, things gradually go back to a more similar, I guess, way than before kids or pregnancy or postpartum. But better because you've been married longer, you know each other better. That's all I gotta say about that. So yes, reignite the flame, but don't be too hard on yourself, because there's a journey, and that journey is beautiful. It sanctifies you, it grows your relationship, it deepens the unity that you have, and it serves a purpose in your marriage too. So I don't know, I don't think we need to focus a lot on, it's important, it's extremely important, but I think that we need to embrace the journey. That's, I think, what I'm trying to communicate. Embrace the journey. When it comes to other men, have an accountability partner with whom you can admit any tempting thoughts if need be, and ask her to pray for you. Avoid contact with any man to whom you feel attracted emotionally or physically. Very good advice. Avoid having a male best friend. Avoid telling your marriage problems to another man. Avoid having a male confidant. Do not believe Satan's lies that life could be better with another man, or that you've simply married the wrong person. Do not believe that lie. First of all, if you believe the lie, life would be better with another man, guess what? That man is a sinner, and he's going to fail you, and he's going to mess up, and he has his flaws, and he has his struggles, and there will be struggles with anybody you marry. It's just like true. So instead of thinking this idealized lie that that person is so great, where you are right now is where God has you, and he will give you the grace to fight and love and be the wife you need to be where you are, and he can restore and repair and renew and just make beautiful even the most broken marriages. And married the wrong person, what does that mean? Does that mean there's a right person? No. You get married because you commit to love someone the way God calls you to love them in scripture, and You are a picture of the gospel to the world. There is no right person. It's just, who are you going to commit to love the way God calls you to? And obviously, ideally, it's when both parties think that way. But just because somebody's not doing their job doesn't mean you don't have to do yours, right? Avoid being alone with another man. Yes. Avoid seemingly innocent internet relationships. Goodness, yes. Stay connected to God through Bible study and prayer. Stay emotionally connected to your husband. Pray for your husband daily. Yes. Pretty much anything that involves a relationship with a man, run. Don't have a relationship with a man. Your husband should be your only male friend. Of course, my friends' husbands, like, I'll chat with them, but it only goes so deep. I mean, they're my buddies, but not in a deep way. And I mean, it's cool, like, if we're in a group, we're all vulnerable with each other, and like, they'll share their hearts and I'll share my heart, and my husband will share his heart and their wife will share, and we can all know each other more profoundly and deeper in that way, also for small group and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna like say, hey, so and so the other night when we were on a double date and you were sharing all these things, so like, it just would be really weird to have like a deep relationship with another man other than my husband. And if that doesn't feel strange to you, that doesn't mean it's okay to do it. I think it's not sinful, but it's just wise, because sin is demented and things can creep in your brain and mess with your marriage. And you might be tempted in ways you never knew you could be tempted to fantasize or emotionally fantasize about another man. So run. Protect that marriage, ladies. Well, for being such a short chapter, I sure did talk a lot.